52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Today, we've got a good Week 5 matchup in store here between the Chicago Bears and the Minnesota Vikings. The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. First play and a first pass for Cousins. And this one complete to Smith. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Right away, they rack up 10 yards on their first play from scrimmage.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense, 1st and 10. Cousins gives way to Cook. And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. They run it again with Cook. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. That play gets him 6 yards and sets them up with a 1st and goal. A couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. Cook will score. Touchdown, Vikings.
So a good job there, Charles, taking advantage of the short field, and they score first, punching it in on the short touchdown run.
I love the theme there, right? They didn't have to do anything big on that drive. Took advantage of where they were on the field, took it downfield, put the ball in the end zone. The only thing big on that drive, the 6 on the scoreboard.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Fields and the Bears now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Play action. It's Fields. Well, he's going to take a shot right away. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Not a great start dropping his first target, but let's face it, it won't be his last chance because he'll get opportunities to make up for that one throughout this game.
First carry now for David Montgomery. And here's another tackle made at the line, so they're converging well on the football now. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
They'll set up the screen to Montgomery. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the 1st at the 32. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down. On 4th down, here's Brett Kern to punt the football away. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Pulled in at the 24. 8 yards on the return following a punt of 41.
And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Well, just 2 series in here, Charles, but everything's gone to script so far. They got a touchdown on their first drive. Their defense holds, and now they've got a chance to take a 2-score lead.
And to co-sign with you, exactly the start they scripted up. And really, that kind of start, that can set the tone for the game for them. Excellent defensive effort to get to him and provide a little contact before the catch could be made cleanly.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. They'll try the middle with Cook. He'll take this up just shy of the 40. Excellent display of footwork on that run. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
That was a really nice run there to bring up 3rd and short. After the incompletion on 1st down, it's awfully nice to have a running back that you can hand it to and put you back in a good situation.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Open man, it's Reagor. He's got it.
30, 10, 5, touchdown, Vikings. Jalen Reagor, his first touchdown on the year.
And the Vikings lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good.
And that'll make the score 14-0.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. To Montgomery to begin the drive. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
Back to Montgomery on 2nd down.
And some room to work. And they work this well upfield across the 45. It's a gain of 22 as we tick towards 2:22 on the clock.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
From the 50, here's Fields. This one swung out to Montgomery.
And we take it down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big...
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Charles, it is pretty rare that we see a team build this kind of lead in the opening quarter. And, man, they seem to be clicking on all 3 phases right there. The defense doing its part with a pick 6.
And it's absolutely been the definition of a start that you would pick for yourself and for your team, right? And I have a feeling that they just want to stay in this zone. What's truly incredible about this start is they can add on a couple more scores. This one could legitimately be over in the second quarter.
prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse if this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. And instead of the first, they'll have to go backwards for another second down try.
So if there is a silver lining, though, it stays second down, and they still have an opportunity to pick up a first down before they have to start their downs over again.
On 1st and 10, here's Fields.
Buying time to his left. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter.
Eric Kendricks
charging hard from that linebacker spot, and he drops him for a loss of 11. The Bears with the football. We get set to begin quarter number 2. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
Fields now to throw.
Eluding the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. It's caught inside the 25.
And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10.
Read option, here's Montgomery.
And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Tackle made that time by Dalvin Tomlinson.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Again, they'll go grab with Montgomery. He'll be taken down well behind the line, and I think he might have just given those 4 yards right back. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
That's a play to take note of there for the defense. I think in the future, if you're going to try and block him, maybe you get a guard to help double team him and try and steer him out of the play. They should have done it on that snap.
Throwing on 3rd down, Fields.
Now they set up the screen. That's complete. Touchdown! David Montgomery, his 3rd touchdown now on the year.
And the Bears are able to make some inroads here to that deficit.
Santos with the extra point, and they'll cut the lead to 21-7. The Bears send the kicking team out there, and they will send this one away.
Kene Nwangwu now out of his end zone. And he returns this to the 22.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
So for this offense, Charles, remember drive 1 made it to the end zone. Drive 2 resulted in a touchdown as well. Now they'll try to make it 3 for 3.
Yeah, and you know, they told us all week that this was the plan and this is what they wanted to execute, but did they really believe it would happen?
Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked off by Patrick Onwuasor.
And the Bears are going to football.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
40 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
First down, they run again. Here's Montgomery. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that game.
And out of bounds Browns all the way down at the 3. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down. They had a chance to limit his yardage, but he was able to fight off that tackle.
So it's not just the responsibility of the guys who missed the tackles along the way. It's all 11 on defense, able to stop this guy, unable to do it on that play. They've got to find a way. How about his ability to break through and gain that yardage?
They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop it right around the 1.
All of a sudden, those lanes that were there earlier in the drive dry up near the goal line. That's a good job defensively to diagnose the run and stop it for a very short pickup.
On 2nd and goal, Fields flush to his right, and he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Justin Fields punching it in from a yard away, and the Bears have cut it back within a score. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. Now as the kickoff's away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Cook following the penalty, and he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down. That's a great defender. Everson Griffin making a great defensive play there for a loss. Throwing on 2nd and long. Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
And a fair catch taken here right at about the 40-yard line. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return, and the Bears take over. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. A little bit of flip the script. Quarter 1, they struggled. Quarter 2 here, they put things together. And I guess sometimes, Charles, you just come out and you have to get your feet underneath you in a ball game, right?
That's exactly right, because every now and then you don't come out of the gate as fast or as strong as you want to. Sometimes you have to ramp up into it or take a few hits along the way. And so far, slow start, but now they're starting to put it together.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. On the move to his left. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
On is Kern, the punter, to send this one away.
So they'll accept that penalty, and that'll, of course, move the football up the field.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. First down. Here's Cousins. Smith catches left side. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. A gain of 8 there on the play. And it'll this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
They go play action. Cousins. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. Touchdown, Vikings. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, 64 yards. And the Vikings will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Blankenship out for the point after. He's got it as they double up the lead. This one's now 28-14. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Well, Charles, you're down multiple scores, less than a minute left here, but with that deficit, they've got to try to at least work their way into field goal range to try to muster something out of this drive.
And I'm going to go ahead and date myself one more time because I'm going to quote an old Smokey and the Bandit lyric. They've got a long way to go and a short time to get there, but they still have time to get it done. So I'm looking forward to watching them mount this drive and see if they can get some points out of it.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now it's Fields. And he fires one that's intercepted. Andrew Booth picks it off. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
They'll try to run with Madison. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Here's Madison getting it again on 2nd. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Alexander Madison with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Now Blankenship on for the PAT. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
How much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds. To try again after the sack.
Fields hit, and the ball is loose.
And the Vikings pick up the football. And first and goal is what it will be at the 6-yard line. Excellent field position.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case...
and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota.
Dalvin Cook
As the first half is winding down.
and the Vikings continue to pull away here in this first half. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good.
And a rout is on here in this first half.
So
and not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The Bears going to see the football first, and they trail here as we get back underway to start this second half. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
Well, partner, you know, as that team gets, never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one. Just work with me a second here, because in my lifetime, seeing how quarterback percentages have changed in throwing the football, I mean, back in the good old days, if you were around 50%, you were doing okay. But now, you need to be 65 to 70% to be considered an elite quarterback. And in this ball game, I feel like we're playing old school, right around 50%.
Yeah, he's under 50%. He needs to start hitting more targets.
A play fake, now Fields to throw. And this is taken in by Darnell Mooney.
Past the 20. Touchdown, Chicago.
Darnell Mooney.
74 yards.
And the Bears come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter.
Santos with the extra point, and that'll cut the lead back down to 21. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter.
Rager catches it left side.
And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. To throw, Cousins. Flushed out right. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. And they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown.
Boy, a big play right there. I mean, a touchdown on this drive could have really put some separation on the scoreboard. Instead, it's the defense who scores. And, partner, we got a game again.
And we do have one because of what you just described. A defense that understood what was going on in this game and did something about it. They knew their offense needed some help. They just provided it. They're back in this one.
Nwangu now from his end zone. And no out.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that's going to bring up 2nd down.
And let's face it, you can put him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense. Here and get the football right back because
play fake, Cousins. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. There for the sack, Everson Griffin. Impressive individual effort there. No one was going to stop him around the edge.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And that's why if you play in a 4-3 base and you're a defensive end, that's why you get the big bucks. They count on you to do everything. Defend the run, and, of course, get to the quarterback.
A 40-yard punt, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've got to be pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, play at the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
Now he'll throw deep left side.
Fields is intercepted for a 3rd time. It's Cameron Dantzler who picks it. And the Vikings are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line.
Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he's got room.
And he's going to be pushed out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. 79 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation. They'll run with Cook, and he will score. Touchdown, Vikings.
Dalvin Cook,
his 3rd touchdown of the season, all coming in this game.
And the Vikings take a 3-touchdown lead. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good.
And the lead down to 3 touchdowns at 21.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
After the sack on first down, Fields got an open man. It's Pringle. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Here's Fields.
That's caught by Montgomery. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 18 yards on that one, and Chicago has the first.
For as many sacks as this defense has, you can understand their willingness to try and get upfield and get another. So what a really smart play call here to use their aggression against them, go with the screen, and they're able to get the first down.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And
attack is a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
on 2nd down, Montgomery. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line.
Not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped him. Marked that down for a win in the defense's column.
To throw is Fields. They'll set up the screen to Herbert. And he will have the Bears first down as he'll be marked down a yard or 2 past the marker following a gain of 6.
But they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball. Play and another first down. They got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of being aggressive and making plays.
On first down, it's Fields.
Throwing right, and that's complete.
And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding call.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
Here's Fields.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Harrison Smith.
And the Vikings will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line.
Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost like they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 43. They start the drive with Cook. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now.
2nd down, they go right back to Cook.
And he'll get it down here to the 43.
All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center, because remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion, and sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
On 2nd down, it's Cook again. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. 109 yards rushing for him now, as he has been tremendous all day long. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
On play action, Cousins. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And, oh, it's incomplete. Oh, that would have been 6 points, but somehow he couldn't rein it in.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit, too.
This offense so far on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. They'll go Madison up the middle. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. They're going for it. Here's Madison. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. Starting to look like this drive, it may be the final nail in the coffin.
Well, this is why you work out so hard, right? This is why you spend all that time in the offseason. This is why you have those OTAs and mini camps for these situations, these scenarios, to run someone into the ground and secure a victory.
On first down, they'll run with Nwangu. So it's the big left tackle who gets tagged with a hold.
And sometimes you're actually executing the block well, and he starts to slip off of you, and instinctively you reach out and grab him. And when it's done like that, it's often seen by the official and called.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, fourth quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the...
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
And a short gain down to about the 33. 9th play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile. 3rd down, here's a run by Cook. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. Out there is Rodrigo Blankenship in the field goal unit. From the left hash mark, this a 43-yard attempt. Blankenship's kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
And you hate to see this for them, but they're looking at yet another loss to begin this season. Things really going from bad to worse as they trail here starting this drive 1st and 10 in the fourth quarter.
And now here's another interception. Picked off by Harrison Smith.
And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. Well, there's